Hello, I'm Adam White. Welcome to Spring TV on sport927.com.au. We're at Moonee Valley this morning as we look ahead to the Cox Plate on Saturday. We've just had the final field announcement and the barrier draw, so let's join Steve Moran and Des Gleeson for that draw.
All right, I think we're just about ready to proceed with the 2007 Tattersalls Cox Plate barrier draw, and our Chief Steward Des Gleeson to draw the first horse.
Thank you, Stephen, and we wish the connections of all runners in the Tattersalls Cox Plate the best of fortune in what promises to be a very competitive race. The first horse is horse number 10, Divine Madonna.
I think it's underneath. Barrier 2 for Divine Madonna, barrier 2.
Horse number 12, Devil Moon.
Barrier 3. And he has a little smile. And I think
horse number 7, Efficient.
Barrier 5 for Efficient.
Horse number 13, Eskimo Queen.
Eskimo Queen draws barrier 8.
Horse number 5, Zipping.
Barrier 12.
Horse number 11, Miss Finland.
Barrier 1 for Miss Finland.
Horse number 2, Lad of the Manor.
Barrier 9 for Lad of the Manor.
Horse number 1, El Segundo.
7. Well, he's got his wish.
Horse number 3, Nicanero.
Peter Devitt joins us and he's drawn barrier 10 for Nicanero.
Horse number 4, Marasco.
Michael Rodd to ride Marasco. Barrier 11. 11 for Marasco.
Horse number 8, Wonderful World.
It's barrier 6. Barrier 6 for Wonderful World.
Horse number 9, Magic Cape.
Barrier 13, Jeff.
And horse number 6, Harada Sun.
Well done. Frank Tagg representing the connections of Harada Sun.
So there you have the final field and barrier draw, the final field of 13 for Saturday's Cox Plate. The interesting runner is certainly Eskimo Queen from the Mike Moroney stable. She actually came out and had a gallop here at the Valley this morning for breakfast with the best. Mike Moroney always said that if she galloped well, she would run in the Cox Plate, and that's exactly what happened. So no dramas for Eskimo Queen after the disappointment of missing that Caulfield Cup after being scratched at the barrier. So once again, just going through the final field and the barrier draw, El Segundo has drawn gate 7, Land of the Manor 9, Nicanero 10, Marasco drawn quite wide in 11, Zipping also wide from 12, Harada Sun drawn perfectly in gate 4, Divine Madonna from 2, Miss Finland from 1. So Miss Finland will be interesting to see the odds shortly on just exactly what happens with her after drawing gate 1. Devil Moon from 3, one of the real key chances, and of course Eskimo Queen from 8. Okay, let's now get some of the reactions from some of the key players ahead of Saturday, and we'll start with Craig Williams. He's on board Miss Finland this year in the Cox Plate after winning last year on the fields of Omar, and Craig's very confident. Gate 1 not a concern for him.
One thing that David's always maintained, that every time he's set her for a grand final, she's won. So even though we're all disappointed that she's run second her last 2 starts in Group 1, there's been reasons for it, and I would say it's basically tempo related, where they've gone slow mid-race and out-sprint her at a vital stage. But the way that she's closing off and the way that she's working, she's in great order, and looking forward to her grand final, which is the Tattersalls Cox Plate on Saturday.
Well, what about Mark Kavanagh? We all know what happened to Mark last week, all the build-up to Maldivian going into the Caulfield Cup before disaster struck just before the start. He's got 2 runners, though, in the Cox Plate with Devil Moon and also Divine Madonna. We'll start with Devil Moon, drawn ideally in gate 3, and Mark Kavanagh couldn't be happier.
She's not one-dimensional. It's been shown before that we can place her anywhere we want in a race. So it may be interesting where she does pan out to be in the run.
Well, we saw her 2 starts back here, of course, at the Valley, sat midfield and wide. She was terrific, but barrier 3 in a Cox Plate, I think you'd be reluctant to concede too much of an advantage early.
Well, that's right. I mean, I don't think we're going to drop back to last, but we're no even money to be leading out of the first bend.
Well, Mark Kavanagh also has Divine Madonna. This is his thoughts on the mighty mare.
I'm just going to throw her in the deep end. Where she's going to be, she's not going to get lost anyway. All the other horses will drag her around the bends and she'll be able to see where she's going. And at the end of it, if any of them get tired, she may go past them.
Well, Frank Tagg is one of the key owners of Harada Sun. Now, Harada Sun has drawn perfectly in gate 4, and according to the owner and the stable, the grand final is Saturday, and he is ready to go, Harada Sun.
we're pretty excited about Saturday, and the way the horse has been working this week and the way Tony's been looking after him. We're fairly confident he's going to run a really good race, and hopefully he'll be in the placings, and more importantly, hopefully we can win the race.
Well, Bart Cummings has won 3 Cox Plates, and he could win 4 because he's got Wonderful World in action on Saturday. He too was out here this morning for Breakfast with the Best, not doing a lot of work, but just having a little bit of a kick around before Saturday. And Bart Cummings, as always, not giving too much away about his horse going into the race.
Well, he's untried at the distance, but if he gets cover, I thought he raced it a bit over the top in the Toorak. It was a slow run race, didn't get any cover, and he over raced. And 10 yards to the post, I thought we had the money, but the last few strides he weakened a little. And given the circumstance of the race, I thought if he had won the Cup, the Toorak, he would have had a good lead up chance into this race, as you normally would think. So we decided to give it a go.
Okay, that's it from a very busy morning out here at Moonee Valley. We'll have more news in the build-up to the Cox Plate throughout the week on sport927.com.au.